Hey everybody, it's Dan Bostrom, Rails member engagement manager, and I'm going to talk to you today about grants for school libraries. So these are grants that you can apply for. I'm first going to talk about two Rails grants, and aren't one is specifically for school libraries, and the other one is for any type of library. And the third is a Illinois State Library grant, and that again is specifically for school libraries. And then I'm going to touch on a few other places that you can look for grants. I know that applying for grants takes a lot of time, and even if you do get the grant, then you have to do all the work. So I understand that it's not a permanent replacement for funding. And a lot of times, getting grants can be a great thing, but it can also be a big drain on staff time. So just be aware of that. I would rather see you get more funding from your organization than outside of your organization. But just to note that there are options for you out there if you're looking for some grant funds for a project or some type of equipment or something like that out there. So, okay, the first one I'm going to talk about here is the My Library is grant for school libraries. And so 2023 will be the third year that we are giving out these grants specifically for school libraries. In 2022, we gave away over $70,000 to 20 different school libraries. And the focus here is on marketing, promotion, and advocacy. So this is part of the My Library is campaign. Rails has worked on the My Libraries campaign since 2019. The purpose is to help libraries tell their story. So we've seen some really interesting things with these grants, and we do allow people to apply by video. We think that's a really cool way for people to kind of tell their story, and so you can actually put together a video as the application. We do require an explanation of the project. We do require also a statement of equity, diversity, and inclusion. And we also prioritize libraries that have done research into their school, how many students qualified for free free reduced lunch, what were the demographics of the school. So we really try to look for schools that were doing these things and thinking about how their library could contribute to the overall improvement of the school and the learning of the students. Really wanted to make sure that libraries were thinking about these things. Just so you kind of know what types of projects we funded last year. When you talk about advocacy, promotion, and marketing, these mean very different things to different libraries. So some libraries feel that they can make their best case to the population of students and teachers through enhanced collections. So we had a lot of applicants in 2022 and 2021 who wanted to boost their collection, especially in terms of BIPOC titles, graphic novels, world languages materials. That was a real popular one. Ebooks was another one. We also had a lot of applicants who wanted to try their hand and wanted to give their students more accessibility in terms of video. We are willing to fund, video equipment, video editing software, all types of materials that go towards making good video for your library. One school actually wanted to build a recording studio for their library, and we were able to fund that project. We also, in 2021, we had a school library that purchased 3 3D printers to do an after-school program in the library, which we thought was awesome. And this year, we actually had a school purchase VR headsets. This is really cool. They were working on a project to teach kids social emotional learning, and so we funded that project. Really excited about it. Can't wait to see where it goes. So my favorite thing about these grants, these My Libraries grants, is that we really get to see libraries use them in an innovative way to kind of, serve their community and their school. So just some examples there. Now, this is another type of Rails grant, and I want to mention that my colleague Joe Filipek, who spoke today, he is the point person for this grant, and so he can tell you a lot more about it than I can. But the basic premise here is that Rails offers a lot of webinars for our members, but we know that there's topics out there that we haven't been able to offer something on that we might have missed or just haven't been able to address yet. So basically, we're saying you identify the topic, find a speaker, and we'll pay for it. So you could apply for up to $2,000. It's called the Rails CE Event Grant, and we can host the event on a Rails Zoom account. We'll also help do the promotion for it. We can help, organize and set things up with the presenter. We just want to know, what are the topics that are important to you. So we do require that all events would be open to any staff from any Rails member library. So, if it has a school library focus, even though it has a school library focus, it would still be open to staff from academic or public libraries within Rails. We also prioritize groups or events that are proposed by groups of libraries, networking groups. So for example, if you were working with an IEL chapter and you had an idea for a presenter or topic, you could apply as a chapter or just as a group of school libraries. And that would be a little bit more, it'd be a stronger application than just you as an individual library. We also prioritize topics that have to do with equity, diversity, inclusion. Again, that's been a big focus for us. So applications aren't open right now as of August 2022, but my colleague Joe informs me that we will be opening them soon for the fall 2022. And there will also likely be an additional round of funding for the spring of 2023. So please check out, there is a webpage on our home or on the Rails website. You could also look in the e-news for more information about those opportunities. Okay, one more specific grant that I want to mention, and this is only for public school libraries. Sorry, private schools. This is only for public schools. It's called the Illinois State Library School District Library Grant. And some of you may know it as the per capita grant or the per student grant. Basically, it's a chunk of money that the Illinois State Library gives out every single year. These typically aren't competitive grants, which means if you apply, you're going to receive the money. For some of you, if you work in a library and you don't know about these, it may be that your school district applies at the district level, and that's pretty common. Just applying, for all the district libraries in your area. It's worth mentioning that every single district gets a minimum of $850 as long as they qualify for the grant. It's 88 cents, 88.5 cents per student. The money can be spent on a huge range of things. I don't even know the full extent of it, but I believe, collections, equipment, supplies, professional development, all of these categories apply as long as it's library related. I don't actually know if applications are open for 2022. That would be a question for the state library, but typically the deadline to apply every single year is October 15th. I'm sure some of you in the past have received these funds. If you want to mention, in the chat here, what you received these funds for, what you spent them on, I would love to know that information. I think other people would love to know that as well. So make sure, if you're not, just make sure your district is doing this. If you're new to libraries, make sure that that your district knows about these funds, because these are a really great way to help your library. Okay, finally, I put some other grant making or some other grant opportunities in here just for everyone's sake, so that that there are other places to find grants out there. So the big three are those top three on the left. IEL, ILA, and ALA. So I know that membership to each of these is expensive. I'm not saying that you need to go out and spend a ton of money, but if you can talk your school or your district into paying for your membership, these can be really, really helpful places to look. Right now, I know that IEL, this is August, being recorded in August of 2022. IEL is offering the Library Book Selection Service, LBSS Endowment Fund, and it's the Feed Your Need grant, and they're offering up to $1,500 for print or ebook collections. And so you can apply for those. You do need to be an IEL member. AASL, which is the Association of American School Libraries, which is the school library division of ALA, has a Bound to Stay Bound travel grant. You can apply for to go to your first AASL national conference. They also have a collection development grant, as does the Association of Library Services to Children, which is the Children's Library division of ALA. The Library of Congress has a program called the Surplus Books Program. So if you're looking to add to your collection, it's a great place to get books, and schools are eligible for that. I've definitely, just anecdotally, I've definitely heard of Rails libraries applying for that Library of Congress surplus books program and getting it. So please do check that out. A few other national organizations, NEH, they have some great grant programs. A lot of them are for exhibits or, specifically for, campaigns and things like that. The Laura Bush Foundation for America's Libraries, they're a great place to look. Obviously, their focus is libraries. Some regional organizations I would definitely recommend checking out. The Community Foundation of Northern Illinois, that is for you folks in Rockford or Freeport or areas in Northern Illinois. The DePage Community Foundation, I know they also work with schools, and so they do have some grants available. Again, I want to be clear that we're applying for some of these grants can be time consuming, and it can really take a lot of work. So I'm not saying that you need to go out there and apply for everything. It is something to make sure that you have the time to actually implement the program that you're proposing. But please do check these out. These are a great place to find more funding. I'm sure there's other ones out there. If you have other suggestions or ideas or places you've received grants from, put them in the chat. It'd be great to hear from folks who've actually received grants out there. That is my presentation today. I really hope that you were able to take something away from it. I hope you apply for a grant in the future if you have the time, and I hope you receive those funds. It's a great way to get your name out there. It's a great way to make sure that the library is getting the recognition it deserves. So thanks again for your time.